Jesus Christ. I'm trying to relax here with Papa Boy and these gardeners with the blowers. I did just finish just this second. This is the land of the never-ending blowers. Fuck. So anyways, there's Papa kicking back with me. I let him sit here, and I was working on the Blazer, putting the final touches. And the stereo's stuck now. Gotta get under this. It's the most uncomfortable vehicle to work on, under the dash. So, oh, I'm gonna light up another Macanudo, golden. Let's see, yeah, it doesn't say golden. I call it golden because it has the gold sticker. And I want to mention that the other cigar, this is my last one. The other cigar, I had to cut it and turn it off 3 times in 3 days, because I had to take off, and I didn't want to take it in the car, so I just let it burn out. And when I came back the next day, I was working in the garage. I relit it. The taste wasn't bad. And then my wife says, "Yeah, I'm gonna go to the store. You want to come with me?" I said, "Okay, I'll go with you." I put it back on the ashtray within 20 minutes of lighting it up. So it got to this point. First one, I got to that point, and then I smoked it this far, and then I relit it like on the 3rd day, and I was surprised. It wasn't biting. It didn't really change the flavor. And I'm going, wow, because usually the cigars, after the 2nd time you do that, they start tasting crappy. But this one, I was surprised. I was pleasantly surprised. So, and now she's gonna come within 10 minutes. She went to the store and she's gonna make me a sandwich. I'm gonna have to put it out. I don't think I should light it up right now. Once I have it lit, I wanna completely go through it. So I'm not gonna light it. I just finished cutting it. So I put I'm gonna talk about the boat. This guy, he wrote to me, I forget his channel, and he said that he wanted to know some information on my boat, because he's thinking of getting one just like it, same year and everything. It's a 73. So I told him what I knew. I wrote him the 5 or 6 pros, and then the next day I wrote him the 3 cons, and I make some comments in between. So one of the cons is, well, one of the pros is that the boat sits low in the water, and that could be good, that could be bad, because I've been in choppy seas and I have water. Oh, there she comes. Hey, there's Mama. Let's see what he does, because he loves her. There's Mama. Well, she pulled in there. He likes to sit here because there's a nice breeze coming from the coast. We're up in the hills, so we get this high breeze up here. It's pretty cooling. There it goes. Sometimes he runs into the driveway and doesn't let her come in. So anyways, the pros are that being that the boat sits in the water, you go in and you have 3 steps. So you got 1 step in the cockpit, and you step down into a hatch that I converted into a storage area for sprays, oils, lubricants. And then and then the next step is the it's a box that it's also a tooling. It has a flip hatch on it, so it's that's another step, and then the floor. And in that step, I keep the glues, the grease for the zippers, the screws, a lot of screws. It's very organized now. Before it was pretty messy when I got it. And then you step down into the floor, and you got about 12 feet of run till you get to your cutty. So everything is low. That gives you a better balance. The whole boat is low in the water, and I've heard people, like my neighbor across the way, he says that he's got a very high fly bridge, and he says that he's up there bouncing around with the chop and the wind, and he's not. Okay, I gotta call somebody who wants to buy my jet ski. So anyways, the boat stays very low on the water. It gives you a very good ride. Another thing I mentioned to the gentleman was that the side walls of the hull, they're 3/8 of an inch, not a quarter. Most of these boats that they're making nowadays, they're even thinner than a 1/4 inch. The bottom, I believe it's 1.5 to 2 inches. That I have to verify. I have to actually, when I remove one of the through holes, and I can put my finger and I can kind of measure. But that's not important. The thing is that it's made in the 70s. Those boats were not made with computers yet, because they didn't know exactly how much fiber cloth to install, so they overdid everything. The fiberglass is thicker, heavier, gives you a better ride. If you have a light modern boat that you can actually push the side of the boat or the hull when you're buffing it, that's the wrong boat for the ocean, because you're going to be pounding like crazy. And this boat, it's like cement. You hit the sides with a fist and you bang it, and you hear this puff, boom. It's solid. So the hull is very, very well made. Everything on the as far as the fiberglass is, everything is well made. The fly bridge has space it's got seating for 4. It's got a bench that sits 4 plus the captain, that's 5. Most of these other boats, they only hold maybe 2. The 31 Bertram, 2. The small Silvertron, 2. There's a bunch of 28, 26. The skipjack also, 2. So you're not going to get that kind of room in a 28-footer. You have to go bigger. You have to go 33, 31, and some 31s like the Bertram don't have the space. Then I've looked at a lot of boats online. I mean, a lot. We've gone to boat shows and seen a bunch of used boats. I'm always looking at boats because I was thinking of upgrading. I'm kind of changing my mind, going to a bigger one, because the bigger you go, the more expensive they are, especially with the slip. So then I told the guy that this model has, it's a Lures 28, but it's a cruiser, I think. I'm not sure. I gotta look at the book. This model has a sofa with the back of the sofa. It flips up into a bunk, so you sleep 2 there, 2 on the dinette, and 2 in the cuddy. That's 6 people. You can even fit more than that if you have a child. You want to put another in the caddy, that would be 7. It has the refrigerator. Some of them come with a stove. Mine didn't, but I don't really cook on the boat. It's got a microwave. It's got a little locker, and it's got drawers for your utensils. 2 drawers under the cuddy and under the dinette, and that's where I have my water and my soda and knickknacks and whatever. And then I have another drawer for the paperwork, the books and everything that I kind of removed because I wanted to reduce the weight. And then it has 3 more on this side under the sofa, and that's where I put my tools and my cleaning uh, some of the cleaning solution, that kind of stuff. So it's got storage. The bathroom does not have a shower, but I mean, if you want to have a shower, you're in the marina, go to the marina shower. That's what you should do. And then if you're out there in the ocean for a few days, we'll just get a bucket. you know, can't have everything. It's got the toilet, which is important. It's got a sink, and it's got a little compartment underneath so you can put your detergents and whatever. Also, under the where the stove used to be, there's a thick plastic lid that you can remove, and then you have this compartment under there. And I converted that area into a storage for my brand new barbecue that I bought like 4 years ago. I haven't used it yet. It's real nice, big one. My coffee maker, which I already took out and can installed with Velcro so it doesn't move around, and a little bottle of propane for the barbecue. So it's got storage for that too. Under the microwave also there's another flip down drawer with a little rollout basket that I made, and I put my knickknacks and plates and whatever you need there. And then behind the back of the sofa, that's where I installed. I put down the life vest so people can see it in case they need to grab one. Just go in there and grab it. And I also put a couple of folding chairs in there. And it's comfortable. It's a little on the small side. Okay, now the next one, they make a 32 with I think it had twin engines also, but that one doesn't go as fast as this one. I can do 25 knots. It goes up to 28. I never pushed it that high because 28 knots is pretty fast. It's pretty fast. So I do like 18, 19, 20, and whoosh, you're going. So as far as the boat itself, it's well made. The engines are in the back, which are easy to get to. If you see my videos, the hatches open up. I installed hydraulic shocks on all the hatches because when I bought it, I didn't have nothing. The middle hatch you have to remove it by hand and put it aside. The thing is heavy, so I put 200-pound hydraulics, and all you do is just lift it and push it, and the thing goes psst. Perfect. Everything works. The side ones open also, so you can work on the engine. You can change your risers, you can change your manifolds, which I've done several times. You can work on the radiator, you can change the spark plugs, you can change the oil. That's an advantage. I told this guy, do not get a boat with the engines inside because you need to move furnishing, sofa, carpet, and then you're cramped in there still. They don't have that much room, so I'm pretty happy with the layout of everything. Now the cons, and it gives you a good ride. I don't know if I mentioned, but being that it's low in the water, you also get water in your face. It's not a dry ride because, well, okay, let me backtrack. When we went to Catalina, we're doing 18 knots or so, 19. It was a semi-flat day, and it was fine. It was fine. No water over the top or anything. But on the way back, we were there for a couple of days. On the way back, we came back in a condition which is called the washing machine. That means that those waves were coming from every direction, every angle. I mean, you were just all over the place, and sometimes I would get an undercurrent, and the boat would just turn on its own, almost do a right angle turn on me, and I'm going, what the hell's wrong with this boat? It wasn't the boat, it's the currents, the weather. There was a storm coming up from Baja, and we're getting ready the winds. So I did get water over the top, and I was getting water on my face. I have to shut down the zipper because I like to have it open, so I want that nice air hitting me in the face. But I had to shut down the zipper, the isinglass, because I was getting a little bit wet there. So that's one of the cons. If you're a little higher, you might not have that problem, but you have to get the good with the bad, and vice versa. Now the cons is that those boats were made with run-of-the-mill people. I don't think they were professional as far as the electrical is concerned. The wiring system on that boat, it was horrendous. I've been cleaning it up little by little, and we're done with the electrical. Almost everything. I'm talking about the lights on the dash. Almost the lights are working. I got a couple of gauges to replace, but the switches and everything that we installed, the radar and everything else. The radar I'm working on, I brought it here so I can adapt the brackets that I made, and the the friend of mine went yesterday and I installed a little piece of 1x underneath because I made the hole a little bit bigger, and I said I want to tighten it up a little bit, which it is now. But then I want to cover that with fiberglass and gel coat, resin and gel coat. So he's going to work on that over the weekend. Maybe it'll be done by Monday or Tuesday, and I can go ahead and install the radar and finish doing that. As far as fishing, you got a big cockpit. It's 10 11 wide, I believe, the width of the boat, and you get about 8 feet by 11, so that's a pretty good sized deck. I installed a 30 gallon, I believe it was 33 gallon big tank, and it has plenty of sardines. So I told the guy the con was that everywhere you go, you're spending double the gas. Every time you repair, it's double the repair. Because if you're gonna change the spark plugs on one, you gotta change the spark plugs on the other. When you're doing the oil, you gotta do the oil on the other. When you do the tranny and the velvet drive, you gotta do the same on the other to keep everything equal. When you're gonna do the radiator, antifreeze, you gotta do the other. And when you're gonna change the belts and everything else, so the maintenance, it's double, and it gets expensive. The expenses in gas, it's also very expensive, especially here in Marina. Last I checked, it was $5.80. I think it was a $5.65. It goes up and down. I installed an additional tank in the rear, 50 gallons, so now I got 190. So figure 190 gallons times 560, let's say. You're looking over $1,000. That's too much money to go fishing. And I got guys that want to go fishing, and I say, hey, you gotta cover the gas. I'm putting up the boat. Yeah, I'm not making any money, but you gotta cover the gas. You wanna go to Clemente, it's gonna cost you some bucks, because Clemente, it's far. So let's talk about range. Range-wise, if I use the two 70 gallons, that's 140, I get 93.3. That's my last estimate. I gotta do another test run because I put a new carburetor on one engine. Let's see if we can get a little bit better mileage. But on the whole, I was spending 1.5 gallons per mile. So I'm spending more gas per mile. I wish I can get 1-to-1, and that's why I suggested to this guy, if you want to have a boat that you can enjoy, just get a single engine, and if it has thrusters, the merrier, better for you, because everywhere you go, you're going to spend double. Doesn't matter if you're going to go around the corner, you're going to spend double. The 350s are economical instead of the 454. But if you have a 454, it's because you got a bigger boat. So you got to balance it out. You don't want to go too big. You don't want to go too small. Then you're going to be bouncing around. If you're going to go far, 150 miles out or something, you need the range on the gas. You need to add gas. That's why I added another tank on mine. But I got to get better mileage. And that's why I started taking out all the stuff that I had. I had a bunch of extra stuff that I didn't really need. Say, what do I have? 2 toolboxes, 2 tool wrenches, box wrenches there. I brought one home. I only need one, so when I need something. And I have to reduce the weight as far as tools. I brought back some books, some things. And when I put water, I don't put the 30 gallon. I put maybe 20. That reduces some weight, because I don't have a shower. Why do I need so much? Maybe I could do enough with 10. I mean, that's what I got on the camper anyways. Just put 10 gallons and things like that. You got to reduce the weight so the boat gives you a better mileage. The lighter it is, the better it is. But when I take people fishing, I weigh everything, and it comes out to 2,000 pounds between gas, people, and gear. You know, coolers with ice and all this stuff. It's 2,000 pounds. That's like having a car on top of the boat. Like having you're carrying a Cadillac on top of the boat, and that's extra weight. So you gotta learn. I also installed a fuel meter that tells me how much I'm spending. So I take it up to where it goes to 12 gallons per hour, because if I go a little speedy, it jumps to 16, and then it jumps to 20, and so on. You can't be going down the ocean like you have a speedboat, because that gas needle is going the opposite way. You know, the speed is going this way and the needle going the other way, getting empty. So you have to have enough to go. And some people get, you know, some people told me, like a guy told me, the kid of a friend of mine, he goes, why don't you go faster? I mean, the kids always want to go running and fast. And I said, because I am sipping the fuel. You didn't pay for gas, your dad did. So be patient, we'll be there, you know. But they want to get there like it's Florida. Everybody in Florida doing 60, because they have those outdrives. Maybe with the outdrives you can do that kind of speed and economy. Well, now we're twin 350s on a heavy loaded boat. So I had to do another test by myself. I'm going to go to Pedro and come back, and I'm going to see exactly how much I'm spending. So that's my review and suggestion to the gentleman that asked me what do I think about the boat that he was thinking of buying. I also told him the electrical problem is that the best thing to do is rewire it. Rewire the stuff that needs rewiring, not every single piece of wire, but the flimsy, delicate, thin wire, not the big Romex ones, but the thing. Yeah, get rid of that crap and put new ones. And it has to be marine grade, because the marine grade has what is it? It's got another metal. I forget what it is now. It looks like chrome, and it protects the wiring. It doesn't corrode that easy. I forget the name now. Copper and something else. And you have to replace those things and replace some of the gauges and some things. Maybe the steering cables, they might be stiff already because it's old. And then the gel coat, if you're getting an old boat, the gel coat needs painting. That's not cheap. That is not cheap. Paint alone, the paint alone is going to cost you $800. Maybe now, with everything gone up a third, you're looking at $1,000 just in paint alone. Then you got the labor. They have to sand it. They gotta work on it, work on the fiberglass, tape everything around, protect the water if you have it in the water, put plastic, and it takes a lot of labor. So it's not cheap. I'm telling you, if you're getting an old boat and if you want to keep it good, nice, and for a long time, those are the things you need to do. And it's not cheap. I keep repeating that. It's not cheap. All right, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.